I think
generation.
what we've learned through last year and the Andrew Tate saga is that you can't kill an idea.
You can't kill
They
that guy.
canceled him.
You can't get rid of
They
him.
arrested him. They did everything they could to him, whether you agree with him or not. That's secondary to this conversation.
And it's all alleged, by the way. Like
They threw everything at him, but he's an idea, and you can't kill that.
man, that's so like Spartan.
It is. It is crazy, but I think he proved that you can't actually win against the machine, because that's what he's doing.
You're right.
Whether how the story ends is not the story here. The story is he did it.
Yeah, it actually doesn't even matter. His model is greater than him now.
Correct. And them canceling him, them possibly jailing him or killing him
Would only make it better.
would just make him a bigger martyr.
Yeah, it's the martyr syndrome, right? You don't kill the prophet.
Exactly. And he somehow became that guy. And it's a really weird way because so many men relate to him, and you may not agree with everything he says because some shit he says is just way out there.
It's for emotional impact,
Of
for
course.
sure.
And I get why,
Reaction impact.
and it's a method. Some people are shock people. Some people are logic people. He does a combination of both. But the biggest part is they couldn't cancel him because he's an idea. And he did it manually.
He did.
Yeah. He just went out there and just wouldn't shut the fuck up. He just kept on talking and talking and talking. And didn't matter what they told him he can and cannot say. He just kept on talking and talking and talking. And do you know what? His words are still heard by billions of people in the world.
Everybody
on a daily
knows about
basis.
And I think I remember hearing him one time say, "I am the most Googled," or "I am the most well known," and I was incredulous when he said that, but I actually Googled it, and he wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
Like
He's up there.
like people know him as much as they know Bill Gates in a weird, funky way.
Yeah. I mean, he speaks in hyperbole, and that's just his way of communication. I get it. We're not children. We can distinguish between bullshit and not.
Yeah.
Right?
I think, and as you were talking, I was searching kind of my mind and thinking about what he's achieved, and I think you're absolutely right. I was trying to validate it in my own head here. I think you're absolutely right that he is truly the first individual who was not cancelable. Because I'm thinking about other influencers of the last decade and the rise, and then they got canceled, and then when they got canceled, they literally effectively just stopped. They just died on the vine, or they pivoted, but they just don't have the power or influence that they have now, or their message,
Or they kissed the ring.
or they kissed the ring. They gave in, right? They sold out to the man. And I was really searching my brain here, Matt.
Nobody.
I think Andrew Tate literally is the first model of someone who transcended the cancellation.
And I think that's why they hate him.
That's why they're throwing the whole book at him, right?
Yeah,
They're trying to
because-
jail him now, right?
Because he showed that if you stand up for what you believe, whether, again, doesn't matter if you agree or not.
So I'm gonna cut you off there. What does he believe, in your estimation?
He believes that men should be men. That
Tell
there
me
is
more.
an
What
old
does that mean?
school value man, and that it means something to have values, to have conviction, to not sway with the wind. And I think that's his biggest message. Stop complaining, stop bitching,
Stop being a
grow the
bitch.
fuck up,
Yeah.
put on some pants, and do some man shit. I think that's his message. And that's what they don't like. Because he's telling an entire generation of young men to stop believing what you're told.
And why, let me play devil's advocate, why is the system raging against that message?
Control. It's-
Weak men are easy to control.
Weak men are easy to control.
The beta-ass males.
Correct. You want people to be compliant.
I'm trying to think of, because I
Especially war-age men. You want them to be compliant. Because if the war-aged men band together and say, this is bullshit, we're not going to take this anymore, it can be really bad for society. It's easier for them to be complacent than it is to have them agitated. Because they're the only ones that actually can make a difference.
That's true.
We're old men. We can't make a difference in the world anymore. We can't. We're not going to fight, right? You're a big guy. You're in good shape, but let's be real. You're not going to war
What's
for
the age
everybody.
cutoff? We're both in our 40s, right? Is it the age cutoff?
No, I think like if you're a 20 to 32-year-old man, like you are the
20 to
man
32,
that has the ability to change the course of the world.
Okay, so in Matt Kim's eyes, 32 is pretty. I kind of agree with you, man. Kind of 32, 33, 34 is kind of the cutoff.
Yeah,
Because at 35, you got fucking responsibilities.
you got responsibilities,
You got bills to pay.
bills,
You got family, yeah.
etc. But at 20 to 30, say 35, if you push it out, 20 to 35, you have literally no responsibility but yourself. It's just pure survival. And if you ever want to take a chance and say, fuck this, I'm going to do it my way, that's when you do it.
Yeah,
We're too late in life for that. That sucks. All we can do is talk and hope to convince the next generation to stop.
and inspire the next generation to grow.
Exactly.
There, right?
That's all we have.
I'm trying to think about Andrew Tate's principle. Like, is it very Jordan Peterson-esque in that? Because if I could summarize Jordan Peterson, it would simply be personal responsibility. And I don't know if I'm not speaking for Andrew Tate, but I would think that he is also pretty much that same core principle, but he takes it and communicates it from a very different angle.
Correct. I think he's just more in your face. Whereas Jordan Peterson, he makes a lot of logic sense. Listening to him talk for a while, you also feel kind of stupid. Because he's very well educated. He uses big words.
Yeah.
He speaks in parables and he extrapolates it out for a long form.
Sometimes it's hard to track with it. Yeah, you get lost in the middle of it.
Andrew Tate dumbs it down for people. So your average guy who's 20 years old be like, okay, yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I get that.
So he does a good job of making it consumable for his audience.
And so let's extrapolate at the meta level then. So if we have men like Jordan Peterson and we have men like Andrew Tate helping the younger generation grow a pair, become personally responsible, fucking do something with their lives, the outcome of this is better society? Is that the assertion here?
It may be something as basic as survival of society.
Ooh.
You stop having men do men shit, eventually society breaks down.
So like, fuck the whole like, let's try to be successful. Let's just try to
Survive.
survive.
Let's make it 100 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. You're not wrong, man.
I mean, if every man in this day and age was woe is me, I've been taken advantage of and I'm really sad and I'm depressed.
The world is against me.
The world is against me, blah, blah, blah. And if you're that guy and we have a whole generation of those guys, where the fuck do we go?
Well, nothing's getting done.
Nothing's getting done. And then all of a sudden we're in an inverse curve where shit's going bad and you can't, it's too late. Only thing you can do is influence the next generation to be men, because you need men to be men for the world to go around. Not saying women don't provide value. Of course they do, but in a very different way.
For sure.